I find this story really interesting. Kyrie Irving putting his teammates on blast after losing to the Magic on Saturday night, saying the young guys don't know what it takes to be a championship-level team. Stephen A., how much growing up does this Celtics team have to do to be legit contenders this season?
Evidently a lot, and time is running out. The reality is that this team is presently constructed probably is not going to be together. You're Terry Rozier. You should be a starting point guard in this league. We're going to see what happens after this season. You're Gordon Hayward. Let's see how much time it's going to take for you to truly and fully recuperate from your nasty injury last year. They put you in the starting lineup for the first 25, 26 games. That wasn't panning out too well. They got you coming off the bench. Marcus Smart was in the lineup. At one point in time, that looked to be good. Now you're having problems. I think the biggest thing for me is all of these damn team meetings. I understand a couple of team meetings a year. I mean, damn, I don't know how many, 5 or 6 team meetings by now? What the hell's going on? I mean, this is basketball.
You know what your job is. You know what your job is.
You know what you're supposed to be doing. It doesn't really make sense because, to me, it speaks from the top on down. The great Danny Ainge, and we know what a phenomenal executive he is. The great Brad Stevens as a young coach. The great talent that is Kyrie Irving. You just watch right now, and it's like, wait a minute, something is glaringly missing.
Well,
and there's a problem.
I hate to say it because I think Kyrie's trying to do it right now. It's Kyrie. When you look at the two other teams that we would put ahead of the Celtics right now, notwithstanding, they're ahead of them in the, rather, not to mention they're ahead of them in the standings. Mm-hmm. Milwaukee and Toronto.
It's actually 4 now.
Right, but let's focus on Milwaukee and Toronto, right? Because those are the two teams that look better than the Celtics right now. Mm-hmm. Best player on Toronto is Kawhi Leonard. He's better than Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. Best player on Milwaukee, the Greek Freak. He's better than Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is the best player on a championship caliber in terms of talent team, and he's an extraordinary talent. But is he a 5-star player? Is he an MVP? He's not 4-star. He's not just an all-star. He's somewhere between that. He's like a 4.5-star guy. He ain't a 5. He's not an MVP, and he's not in those conversations. Now, to his credit, he is doing what he's supposed to be doing. Let me try to lead these guys through the Eastern Conference, at least, in the playoffs. He has the most talented team, and he's the best player on it. If he doesn't do it, it's not just because this guy's feuding with that guy or Brad Stevens. It's because he was unable to lead them there. That would be the reason.
Let me say this before we end this portion of the segment. 2 things I want you to know. Indiana Pacers right now, 6 dudes averaging in double figures, 28-14 record. Yep. 3rd in the Eastern Conference. Nate McMillan's doing a hell of a job, and Victor Oladipo's doing a great job leading them.
Agreed.
And number 2, Philadelphia 76ers, 4th seed. Both of these teams are ahead of Boston. Philadelphia 76ers with all their problems, with Jimmy Butler.
But who you pick, Sixers or Celtics?
No. Still Celtics. But let me say this. Ben Simmons came out and called his teammates soft. Joel Embiid was arguing earlier about Brett Brown the offense not working for him. Then Jimmy Butler comes on board, does the same thing, and they're still better than the Celtics right now.
By the way, I have some advice for Kyrie.
They're still better than the Celtics right now. That's a problem.
I have some advice for Kyrie, by the way, because no one's more talented than him. He's as talented as anyone, right? Best finisher under the basket probably I've ever seen. A great shooter and a great clutch shooter, and I think he has real leadership ability, and he's been in the finals as a key contributor, as the second best guy on a championship team that upset the odds and all that. 2 things. Number 1, he can dribble a little bit less. He can move that ball a little bit earlier in the shot clock and not have the ball stick with him. I know it's his style, but number 2, this is even more important, he can play more consistent defense. The real difference between Kyrie Irving and a 5-star player is he is not consistently excellent defensively. He's only excellent in spots. If he were a consistently great defender, he would be a 5-star caliber player. I think the whole team would be better.
Yeah, that's fine. My only retort to that is that's a different subject because at the end of the day, that ain't the reason why you're having all these damn team meetings.
Yeah. Clearly, they're one of the most talented teams in the East, and it's just not showing all these teams you mentioned outplaying them.